Alright, today we're going to be talking about GIMP Lab Exercise 1-2, and we're going to start looking at the fill tool a little bit more. We're going to start how to enclose shapes and how to use a paintbrush. Our goal by the end is to get a drawing that's real similar to this. Alright, so the first thing we're going to have to do is go get a file from GIMP, from our Moodle page. And below this, let's see if we can figure out a way that we can. At the bottom of this one, I'm going to go ahead and blow this up so we can see all of them. We're going to try to find this September 27, 2013. And I'm going to scroll down. At the bottom, you're going to have Download Lab 1-2 Resource File. We're going to click on this. This is and this is the file you should download. And we have to pay attention to where it actually downloaded. For a Mac, it's going to go to download. It will give you the option. Make sure you go to Save As, and it should be saved Lab 1-2 GIF or GIF, and it's in the download section. So it'll be a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and move mine out to the desktop. So I saved mine now to the desktop. It may be a little bit different for you on a PC, but it'll give you a save. And just remember what folder you saved it at. So now I'm going to go to File and go to Open. And I saved mine to the desktop, and it was Lab 1-2 GIF. And I'm going to hit Open. So this is the black and white file that we're starting with. Alright, so we're going to add some color and paint this. So the first thing I'm going to do in GIMP, I have to, before I can add any color to it, I have to change it from a black and white into a RGB color. So I'm going to click on Image, go to Mode, and RGB. If you skip this step, you cannot add any color. And so now we're ready. We're going to use a paintbrush. We're going to go change, make sure you're at a circle. We can go bump this back to about 5 pixels. Before we can fill anything, we have to completely enclose a loop. So I'm going to go down here to the bottom. There's a zoom feature, and I'm going to go to about 200%. And I'm just going to go to the outside, and I've added yellow. I'm going to make sure that I have my foreground color changed to black, so then when I paint, and I'm just going to go over, spend your time, nice and easy. And actually, to me, 5 is still going to be too thick, so I'm going to go back and change my size to about 2 or 3. Now I can go back here and paint. And just hold your mouse key down and go over. And we're just outlining. And you have to make sure the whole thing is, I'm going to skip this part intentionally, so we're going to go back to it here in a second. I messed up there. You can always Control Z to undo. So I suggest doing like small sections. Otherwise, if you hold the mouse down and mess up at the very end, and you Control Z, you will undo everything you did. So just small sections. Spend your time. I'm doing this quickly so the video doesn't get boring. And we're going to fill this tree in. Now remember, I left that one spot open. So what do you think is going to happen when I fill? Imagining it being like a paint bucket. When you spill the paint on here, water is going to leak out of this and fill up the whole entire area. Alright, so I'm going to, the color that it's going to want to use is a green. Say okay, and when I use my fill bucket, it's going to fill completely everything, which is not what I want. So Command Z, go back, change my, it's back in, I'm going to fill this little part here in. Also, this is horizon line, which you won't be able to see through the tree, so we're going to use our erase. And our erase doesn't actually erase this. What it does is it actually fills it with the background color. And that's really small and it would take a lot of time erasing that, so I'm going to adjust my paintbrush size. I don't want to give off the leaves here. And I can always zoom in so I can erase. Alright, so now I'm ready to fill, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to change it to green. We use HTML notation, which in this case is 0D9D0A, and hit OK. So that's a green. I'm going to use my fill bucket and fill in the tree. I'm going to zoom back out. Alright, so that's this tree's covered. I'm going to go back to make sure my paintbrush, go back to about 3, and I'm going to zoom in again. I'm going to go ahead and complete. Nope, so I've left my green, so I got to go back to black. Control Z to undo. So I said spend your time drawing around. Now when we get to the inside part here, we're having to deal with these branches. Remember, we have to have a closed loop. So we just kind of have to fill in these areas.
Mr. Miller, do you mind if I leave my trombone in here?
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Is my ID ready yet?
It is not.
I'm Mr. Miller.
Hello.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
See you tomorrow.
All right. So keep on going around here. We have to connect back into our original spot to have a closed loop. I'm also going to go ahead and fill in the tree trunk. So I have to have a closed loop here. You may be able to do a little bit better job than what I'm doing. All right, so now I should have enclosed green. I'm going to go fill in tree trunk. Fill in. All right. Now I need to go ahead and one thing I forgot was to erase. Actually, I kind of did this on purpose. So when I erase, it's going to erase to my background color. So it's going to turn it white. I can either do this or I can just flip my background color. So when I go and erase, it's going to erase it to that particular color.
We do have about 4 boxes of paper that we have got from another campus, so get us through the day. If you need to make copies, you can do so now.
All right, so now we're ready to fill in our tree trunk. color for the tree trunk will be A67A21. Remember, this is HTML notation. I hit OK, so I have a light brown. Click on my fill bucket and fill. And it means I have a hole somewhere in here that I have to go and figure out. So this is where you have to go back in and zoom and kind of just figure out. And it may be so small, I'm guessing it's right in there. So pay attention, make sure I change it back to black. Change my size again. And we're going to change our color again. Paint. Alright, so now that is my one tree trunk, so I have to do the other one. So first I have to go over and trace around it. So I'm going to go back and use my black and my paintbrush and trace around. And you can see how zooming in really helps. So now I'm ready to fill. Make sure I change the fill bucket. Fill. I can click and fill that little area right in there. Alright, so I'm going to zoom back out, and now we're ready to get down to the next step, which we need to draw a horizon line. So I need to make sure I fill that part in. You always have to remember to change the color to black. Whatever color you need. So horizon. Also draw it over here somewhere so it can connect. So now I need to change to a different shade of green. And in this case is going to be 7AF777. Hit OK. I'm going to go over here in my fill bucket and fill my grass. Also need to fill in this area right in here and this area here. And the last thing I'm going to do is fill in my sky. My sky is BEE3FC. And once again, using my fill bucket, fill in all the little areas. And so I've completed my drawing. So now I'm ready to export. Go to File, Export. This is going to create my image. I'm going to put name lab1-2.gif and make sure you pay attention. It's going to my desktop so I can find it. Export. And it'll give you these options. Just click on export again. And now it's created that actual picture. So that's what you're going to send me when you get complete. Alright. That's going to be your assignment for today.